Well, good evening, good evening, good evening, all over North America. We want to ensure that you can hear me. So if you can hear me, please type in the chat roll because we'll be underway in the next few moments. Again, good evening and welcome to our webinar tonight. Again, if you can hear me, would you please be as so kind as to type in the chat bar so that I know you can hear me. You can hear me? Well, awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, many of you might need to refresh your browser in that we just came live. And so if you're not seeing this PowerPoint screen, all right, thank you. You might want to refresh your browser and because we will be starting in the next few moments here. It's 1 minute after the hour, so we're about to get started and engaged. And so if you're not seeing the PowerPoint screen or the presentation, please refresh your browser and we will be taking off in the next few seconds here. All right. Can everyone see the screen and can everyone hear me? If you can see me or see the screen and hear me well, we are ready to rock and roll. Whoa, I just did something here I shouldn't have done. Okay. All right. Again, good evening. I'm going to let the screen kind of catch up. Again, give me one more. Let's do one more sound check before we go live. Want to ensure you can hear me. And if you can hear me, please type in the chat roll. Yes, 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 yes. All right. Here we go. Again, good evening. My name is Carl Robinson, and I'm just humbled and honored to have this opportunity tonight to share with you a little more about We Share crowdfunding and about this tremendous opportunity that we have before us to really change some lives. We have a mission, and tonight we're going to lay that mission out for you. I'm a real interactive guy, and so I have a question for you. Who needs to raise, who could use for your project at least $50,000 in the next 90 days? If you could use $50,000 for whatever type of project you have, just in the chat roll, in the chat area, just give me the letter Y. Just type in Y. If you can use $50,000. If you can use it, just type in Y. I need to know you're out there tonight. If you can use $50,000. Okay, that's it. Me, give me a Y. Give me a Y. Let me know. I need to know if you're out there tonight. All right. Yes, yes, yes. All right. I'm going to show you tonight how we can manifest this for your project using our simple solution. Literally, all the funding you need to fulfill any project that you might have. But before we even get started, I believe it's important and imperative that we get our thinking right, that we get our thinking correct. Because with your wrong thought patterns, it is literally impossible for you to accomplish the goal that is at hand. Simply because inside of fundraising, many people have the wrong concept and the wrong idea of what it takes to do fundraising. Because nearly all fundraising efforts fall into one or two categories. Either number one, you're being a beggar, or number two, you're being a peddler. And no one wants a beggar, and no one wants a peddler. But the reality is, most fundraising campaigns center around people either begging or peddling. But I would like to propose tonight that we're not beggars and we're not peddlers, that we become a solution provider. And when I say solution provider, I mean there are people out there in the marketplace that need money. I mean, can you think of at least one or two people that could really use some money for their life situation? If you can think of anyone that you know that needs some money, that needs to raise some money for a life situation, just type in the chat bar a yes. Well, tonight, the reality is there are far more people who need money than there are people who are trying and willing to give money. And so, since there are far more people that need money, if we are service and solution providers, then we are going to position ourselves in front of a tsunami, a tidal wave of people, by making this concept available to them to help them fund whatever project may be important to them. I'm going to give you an income disclaimer tonight. And this income disclaimer is very simply this: any potential earnings shown in this presentation are not based on what we think you could earn. There's no assurance you'll do it as well. In fact, most people probably won't come close to these results as explained in this presentation. And I say that because we have no way of knowing how well you will do. We don't know you, your background, your work ethic, or your business skill level. Therefore, I cannot guarantee you or provide you with any type of assurance. But if you rely upon our information and follow our system, I assure you, you can have great success with our system here. So let me give you a plan tonight, a very simple plan that will help facilitate this reality for you. This system that we are currently working is working for people just like you all over the world. Everywhere in the world, people are using this concept. And despite what you may think or feel, it's working. And people are experiencing great success using this concept. They're not going to the bank. They're not getting loans. They're not mortgaging themselves. They're simply using this well-known reality in the marketplace that's changing lives, this true new world order economic solution for one of mankind's oldest and most difficult problems. And that is, how do I raise money for something that's important to me? Would you agree with me that that is a lifelong problem? How do you get the money that you need for something that's important to you? If you agree with that, give me a number one. Just type number one in the chat bar. Yes. You know, how do you get the money that you need for the things that are important to you? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is the secret sauce that we're using to be able to raise millions upon millions of dollars inside of our activities, simply using this strong programming concept. Tonight, I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Tonight, I'm going to answer all of your questions regarding crowdfunding. And it's my hope tonight that you'll leave here with a great understanding of what this industry is all about. Now, here are some facts about crowdfunding. And the number one fact, and it's truly indisputable, that it works. And it's working for hundreds upon thousands of people across the globe. That's a fact. It's working. But you don't have to take my word for it. Everything I'm sharing with you tonight can be Googled. Do your research. It's a known fact that crowdfunding is a viable solution here inside of the new world order for financing. You know, all the major financial publications have written extensively about it. The New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, Forbes magazine. Forbes magazine says that crowdfunding is the next global phenomenon. Look at that, a global phenomenon. If you Google crowdfunding and the law, literally within seconds, you'll have over 153,000 results. You know, one of the largest search engines, Google, in regards to crowdfunding. Then I'll go ahead and talk about, like I said, if we're looking at crowdfunding and the law, just a list of articles and publications that crowdfunding is even becoming popular in many local states and the federal government. They're recognizing crowdfunding as a viable option, both for businesses as well as for individuals to raise money for whatever is important to them. Here's one of the most phenomenal stories right now. And as a matter of fact, if you Google the names James Robertson, he is trending today because they updated there in Detroit his story. If you look, it was February the 1st. If you look right there where it says created toward the bottom of the page, a little over a year ago, this gentleman was flat broke, walking to work every day, literally walking to work every day, 21 miles to and fro. Evan Leedy put a crowdfunding platform up to support and help this guy out, to help him get a car. 1 year later, pursuant to our screen that says 209,000, that was raised in 2 days. As of now, Mr. Robertson is a multi-millionaire, literally given a new car. This is all documented. Given a car by a local dealership, has Wall Street investors supporting him and helping him to manage the funds that he was able to receive, all from people giving him donations. Here's another story. A lady by the name of Natalie. Okay, my system is moving really slow here tonight. A lady by the name of Natalie out of Ferguson, Missouri. You know, over a year and a half ago, all eyes of the world was on Ferguson because of the riots and the activities that were taking place there. Natalie owned a bakery in downtown Ferguson. It was looted and destroyed. She put a crowdfunding platform up to raise $20,000. It was even showcased on CNN. In 6 days, she raised from 8,194 people, $266,000. That's the strength of this type of platform when a community of people comes together. If you believe this money is unbelievable, I mean, it's literally, can you believe this type of money is being raised? Just type in the chat bar, wow. I mean, Mr. Robertson, over $1 million. This Natalie now is probably closer to $500,000. I mean, the stories literally just go on of individuals who are receiving funds. Here's, you've heard of Veronica Mars. I like to call a B-rated cable television show that they wanted to raise money to put a motion picture on. Their goal was $2 million. And ladies and gentlemen, they raised $5.7 million for a then B-rated cable show to become a B-rated movie. But it's all based upon a community coming together to support one another and to help out their various causes. Here's another one. This is called Exploding Kittens. This was by a platform called Kickstarter. They raised $9 million for an app of an exploding kitten. It's crazy, but people will give to what's important to them and literally what moves their hearts, their minds, their souls. And this, you notice the date, this was July 31st, 2015. It hasn't even been a year yet. And this $9 million was raised. Here's another story. There's a camp out in Arizona where they were short on their budget. And as a result of them being short on their budget, they did an online crowdfunding platform to support the staff and for the operation of the camp. They raised over $20,000. Ladies and gentlemen, all this information is documented. You can Google it. You can find it online. Nothing is being made up here. But very honestly, as great and as grand as these stories might be, you know, there's still some drawbacks. You see, this money was received from complete strangers who wanted to help. I mean, these were from strangers who had a desire to help everyone out. But I said, I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. So whether you have credit card debt, medical expenses, whether you have a college tuition or debt that you're trying to pay off, whether you have a church, whether you have a charity, a soup kitchen, doesn't matter the project, whether it's something personal or whether it's something for the community. Whether you're opening a business, wanting to expand a business, pay off debt, it doesn't matter. Our concept of crowdfunding can support you. It could be an artistic endeavor, a musical project. You may be a musician. You want an album to drop. All this is possible inside of our platform. So it's a proven worldwide solution. Over a dozen of years we've been around inside of the crowdfunding industry. Billions upon billions of dollars have been raised. Literally, strangers helping strangers is the concept. Strangers helping strangers. I mean, just think about it. Mr. Robertson, millions of dollars. Miss Natalie, who wants some of that money for their project? Type yes, me, in the chat bar. But as I aforementioned, there are several problems with traditional crowdfunding. And here are some of the drawbacks. Number one, the company charges astronomical fees. Many of the companies charge upwards of 15% of the donations that were received. And if you really think about it, it's begging. Will you please help me raise money for my situation? Will you help me raise money to help my life issue out? Third thing, if you're going to really be successful, you're going to need to be an expert online, like Evan Leedy was. You're going to need to have a great social media presence. And fourthly, or you're going to need to have the media pick up your story like they did with Ms. Natalie. So there's some drawbacks to traditional crowdfunding. Major drawbacks that hinder 97% of most projects from literally getting funded. And again, excuse my system, it's moving a little slow. So if you want $50,000 and we're collecting $50 donations, that would mean you would need 1,000 people to give you each $50. Ladies and gentlemen, to get 1,000 people to give you $50, that's the long way home. Do you agree with me on that? That's a long way? Just say, if you know how to spell that in the chat bar. That is a long way home. Our solution provides that you're not being a beggar, that you're not being a peddler, but that you are literally becoming a solution provider. That we are providing legitimate solutions for people that need money. And that's what we do day in and day out. There are no application fees to join. There are no registration fees to join. No kitchen materials you're required to buy. No percentage taken out of the money you raised. No funding goal you must publish to receive the money that's donated to your project. One of the projects, or one of the crowdfunding platforms, or several of them have deadlines. So if you don't hit the goal by the time you state, they'll refund any of the money that you've received back to the individuals that made the donations to you. And that, to me, is just not fair. So that's what makes our program so amazing. Now, I can't make any guarantees, but I assure you of this: if you follow our proven system, you will have success inside of our marketplace. And let me share with you why. Here's our very clear plan to help you monetize 50K in 90 days. Now, I want to be clear. I don't know your background. I can't make you a guarantee or promise. But based on things that only you know about yourself, let me ask you a question. Can you stick to a plan for at least 90 days? If you can stick to a plan for at least 90 days, type in the chat bar, I can. Because that's key. You know, we're proposing a 90-day challenge to raise $50,000. And so I need people that can stick to a plan for at least 90 days. Number two, do you have a big circle of influence? How big is it? How good is your word? When people hear you, do they listen? Do they respond? If you speak, do they pay attention? If you lead the way, can you get people to follow? Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you can, then that's great. We can really do some great things. However, if you can't, that doesn't mean you're a failure. That doesn't mean you're no good, but it means you need to work on those areas. And one of the things that I love to share with people is that every day we, as a community of people, should be working on ourselves. We should be working on developing a better us every day of our life. Because once you start working on you to be a better you, naturally, people around about you will see the new light in you and appreciate you for it. So we're building a community of like-minded people to help each other raise money. And that's the key. This is a community of like-minded people. But again, don't take my word for it. Let's do your own research. Because a community of this magnitude can do so much to help you change your heart and change your life. Now, let's deal with an elephant in the room. You know, as we're getting ready to get down to the brass tacks here, network marketing versus multi-level marketing. We are not a multi-level marketing company. And very honestly, I love multi-level marketing companies. I like them. I love them. I've done very well over my business career inside of multi-level marketing companies. But We Share Projects is not a multi-level marketing company. We are more of a networking company. When I say networking, simply I mean we have a great concept, we have a great product, we have a great service, and we're just sharing it with people. That's what networkers do. You know, if in your local marketplace chickens were on sale for 1 cent a pound and you could only buy 10, after you purchased your 10 chickens, wouldn't you network that information to someone? Wouldn't you share it with a neighbor, coworker, friend? Somebody just passing by, hey, chickens are 1 cent a pound at the local grocery store. Go by and get you some. They only let you have 10. That's what networking is. Networking is just connecting people together for various products and services. Let me ask you a question. Who do you know that needs money for a worthwhile cause? It could be to pay off debt. It could be to buy a new home. It could be to start a new business for a church or charity. It's not a loan. It's not a grant. Your credit isn't an issue, and you don't have to pay it back. So in other words, that's networking. And that's what we do. Because if you think about it, every single online phenomenon was created by people sharing something they liked. Networking. How do you think Facebook grew? Networking. How do you think Instagram grew? Networking. Everything in life is centered around networking. And when you network, that's what helps your net grow and your net become a greater worth. So let me ask you a question. Ladies and gentlemen, are you really serious? I'm going to show you in the next few moments how to raise $50,000 in the next 90 days. I'm going to show you in black and white how to do it. I need to know who's serious. I mean, really, if you're serious, type in the chat roll, I am serious. I am serious. Well, this system is based on you plus 2. That's it, just you plus 2 people. Now, it may be necessary for you to contact 10, 12, 15, or even more to accomplish that goal. But it is based upon a real simple concept of you reaching 2 people that are serious about retaining and raising money for their particular situation of life. Think about it. Who do you know that needs money for a worthwhile cause? If you knew you had a plan to generate tens of thousands of dollars over the next few months in your spare time without having to get a job or buy or sell products, how seriously would you pursue it? That's a question. How seriously would you pursue it? Because we're not proposing getting a spare job and a part-time job. We're not proposing loading your garage up with stuff to sell. All we're asking you to do is to share a simple concept with people that need money for a worthwhile cause. So again, that means we might not look for everybody. As a matter of fact, we're not looking for everyone, but we're looking for people that are serious about taking this challenge and taking it to the next level. You plus 2 is our secret sauce. And we're going to get into some great detail. And we're going to challenge you to do it in 1 week. Having a little screen issue here. To do it in 1 week. That's what that's supposed to say. You plus 2 in 1 week. Nothing complicated, but very straightforward. You plus 2. Can someone type that in the chat roll? You plus 2. That's what we're looking for. You plus 2. We're looking for action takers. We're looking for people that have a serious need to raise money. We're looking for people to provide them with a plan and show them our automated tools in our system. Again, we're looking for action takers. Do you know people that are action takers? Do you know people that have a serious need to raise money? If you do, that individual may be one of the 2 that you're looking for. You don't need to mobilize a large group of people. You don't need a big marketing budget. And you don't need to contact tens or hundreds of thousands of people. We just need to do this in 1 week. Talk to people that you know and share with them, hey, who do you know that need money for a worthwhile cause? That's it. Just you plus 2. Let me share it with you in another way. Here's another way that it works out. It's you plus 2. Because that's what it takes to engage our community. It takes a donation We believe heavily in our community in the law of reciprocity. That which you sow will be that which you reap. We believe heavily in that law. And so as a result of that, as you make that donation, you'll make a donation of $200 to the project manager that invited you. You'll make a one-time out-of-pocket donation of $200 to the person that invited you to this webinar tonight. That's your introduction into our community. That's what causes the community to stimulate on your behalf, that one-time out-of-pocket donation. And never again will you have to go back into your pocket, simply because we are a self-funding community. And pursuant to our donation distribution formula, that's what makes our community so viable and so strong, as we're going to get into that in the next few moments. So here's the challenge. Can you personally refer 2 people, credible people, who are serious about raising money in the next 7 days? If you believe you can do that, say, I can. Can you personally refer 2 credible people who are serious about raising money in the next 7 days? Now, again, it means you may have to talk to 10, 12, 15 people to find your 2 serious ones. And that's okay. They have to be open to make a donation of $200. And when your 2 make a donation of $200 to you, that gives you a brand new figure of $400, because this is all centered around 2 that get 2. So then your 2 will go out and try to reach 2, and they'll duplicate the same thing in a 7-day period. And it just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing. That's you plus 2. Become a 1-week wonder, because if you pull this off in 1 week and train and coach your team to do the same, that process will start duplication. And you know what? In any business I've seen, when you don't have systems and duplicatable systems, that's what makes ma and pa shops remain ma and pa shops. I don't care how brilliant your product, I don't care how great your service is. If you don't have a duplicatable system to get your product into the marketplace, you will never grow. And so by doing that, you can now receive a stunning amount of donations as your community grows. And that's what makes this thing so phenomenal. It's just simply you plus 2. Now, you receive donations 3 ways in our community. Number 1, there's direct donations. And direct donations are donations that are given directly to you, that 100% donation. So when one of your project managers your new project manager makes that $200 donation, that money goes directly to you for your project, no fees come out of it. Then there's what's called primary donations, and that's 50% of the donated amount. We're going to get into some graphs in a second here. These are portions of the leverage contributions you receive from members of your community, which is always growing and developing. And then there are secondary donations, and the secondary donations are 25% of the donated amount. These are another type of leverage donations that we receive. So now, what takes place in our marketplace is very simply this. Imagine yourself in a building with 7 floors above you and 7 floors below you. And there are 3 steps going up to the next funding floor for a total of 21 steps. And each one of the steps represent an incremental donation amount, and each step doubles from the previous floor. So here's our example. If we see here, we're only going to look at the first 5 floors in our full 7-floor funding system. So on our first floor, you see $10 right here at the bottom. Then you see $50. Then you see $100. That's a grand total of $160. Then we're going to add $40, and the $40 is the foundation amount, or our accelerator, which gives us a grand total of what? $200. So now, when you make your one-time $200 donation, that's going to go to the project manager. It's going to do two things. Number one, it's going to go to the project of the project manager that invited you. But then the second thing it's going to do, it's going to enroll you into the community. So now you're in position to receive donations. So that $200 donation has great purpose and great worth. Again, it goes to the project that invited you, as well as it goes to qualify you to receive donations. And so now if you notice, each floor, the donations get a little higher. The first step was $10. Now on the second floor, the first step is $20. And it'll just keep going higher, 50 to 100, 100 to 200, 20 to 40. And that gives us a grand total of 320 on the second floor. On the third floor, now the donations double at a different level here. I should say that we're receiving them at a different level here. There's 40. Then that 40 is 200. And then 200 turns into 400. And then we just keep climbing the steps higher and higher. 80, 400, 800. That's 1280, 160, 80, and then finally 1600, and that gives us 2560. Those are the first 5 floors. We have 7 floors. We have 2 more floors to go, and we're not even going to engage them in this conversation tonight. So now, you plus 2. You went out and you've engaged 2 people, and they both made a donation of $200. So that means now you have $400. Now, our goal is to raise $50,000. So since it's our goal to raise $50,000, we have to do something to raise that money. Now, you've given out of your pocket $200. Now you've just received $400. So now, in our concept, it's called stepping up. If you want to receive more donations, you have to step up. And so what does stepping up look like? It looks like you taking that $400, minusing the next level, which is 320. You're still left with $80, but now that second floor is funded. And again, remember I said earlier, we believe heavily in the law of reciprocity. You give, and then you shall receive. So now that you've given, you're qualified now to receive on that second floor. But now remember, the donations change now. And as we're moving to the second floor, you can only receive 50% of the donation. So now, 50% of the donation for stepping up. And we're going to do this in a week interval. So now, you have your 2 that will go out and get 2. And when your 2 go out and refer to, of the 2 that were referred, you'll receive $160, which is half of the second floor donation of $320. So it means now you have $640. And again, I haven't met anyone that gets it the first time completely, but it's mathematics and it works. So now you have $640 plus $80, grand total of $720. We're trying to get to $50,000. So what are you going to do? We're going to step up to the third floor. How are we going to step up to the third floor? We're going to give a donation of $640. Alas, it brings us back down to 80, but that's okay because we're moving higher. Now, you're qualified to receive now going into the fourth floor from the third floor. What are you going to receive? 8 people, because your 2 that got 2 got 2. That's 8 people. You're going to receive $320, which is half of $640, a grand total of $2560 there on the third floor. That's good. But now you want to step up because we're trying to get to $50,000. So you're going to take $2560, add the 80, which is $2640. So we're going to subtract $1280, which is the fourth floor donation. That'll still leave you with $1360. But now Because you've given, you're able to what? Receive again. So now the 18 people will go out and they'll each get 2. So that gives you a grand total of, on the 5th floor, 16 new people that are going to go out. 16 times 640, which is half of the 4th floor donation, gives you 10,240 plus your 1,360 equals 1,160. So now what are you going to do? You're going to step up to the 5th floor. How are you going to step up to the 5th floor? By making a donation of 2,560. When you make that donation of 2,560, that'll still leave you with $9,040. But now you're able to receive on the 5th floor a donation of $12,080 from the 5th floor donation, will give you a grand total of $40,960 with 32 people that are going out building the community. And that gives you a grand total by the time you get to the 5th floor of $50,000. Who can use $50,000 in the next 7 to 8 weeks? Type in the chat bar, yes, if you could use $50,000 in the next few weeks here. But it gets better because we haven't received all the donations yet. I told you about the 25% secondary donations. Well, based on those and those projections, that's an additional $15,200. $15,200 minus 5,120, which would take you to the next level, and that equals $10,080. Ladies and gentlemen, you are on your way. You are on your way. Because now look what's going to happen. That'll give you a grand total of $60,000. So within the next 90 days or less, if you put your head down, follow our system, you can raise over $60,000 for your project. Would that change anyone's life, anyone's project, an additional $60K? Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. It's simple. 2 that reach 2 that reach 2. Now, what I love about our system, and I want you to hear me very well, is this. In traditional crowdfunding, suppose you went out and did a crowdfunding with GoFundMe, and you had 90 days, and you hit the 50,000 in 90 days. On that 91st day, you would receive a notification, you hit your goal. After we take our fee, it'll take them about 10 to 15 business days to get the money in your possession. Inside of WeShare, the money's been in your possession the entire process, number 1. Number 2, on that 91st day after you hit your goal, we're not going to send you a letter to say, congratulations, it's over. We're going to send you more donations. Why? Because your community is still going to grow. And that's what makes our concept so amazing. We are a continual self-funding community. 50K in 90 days, ladies and gentlemen. And it's all a matter of you getting to. If you can simply get over some simple little concepts, meaning you're going to have to go to work. Like I said on the onset, this is network, network marketing. We've got to go to work. But if we go to work, some great things will happen. What does work mean? Sharing with a few people, getting the good word out, sending out a text message, sending out an email, sharing with people wherever you are. Hey, I have a solution. Do you need to raise money? Yeah, I need to raise money. I have a system where you can raise money to help you change your life. But the reality is there are more people who will say they're serious, but when push comes to shove, they'll come up with excuses as to why they can't do it. And I trust that none of you online today have that disposition. But you're going to have to talk to a few people. I mean, if in 90 days we get laser focused, put our head down and make it happen, and we can raise $50,000, $60,000 for our project, wouldn't that change some of the pressure that we're facing? It matters. It's you plus 2. You plus 2. That's what you're looking for. We want to do this in 1 week. You plus 2. In 1 week. You plus 2. And I believe it can be done. It's happening. Many of our project managers are doing it. And they're doing it how? By simply using a simple marketing system, by using our simple concepts that we have laid out for them. If you believe you can do it, say, yes, I can in the chat bar, because we're solution providers. We are solution providers. And let me give you some more solutions. Here's a great example of how you can do it. Here's our opening conversation. Who do you know who needs to raise money for something important to them? It could be for personal needs, like paying off a credit card debt, medical bills, or student tuition. It could be for your church or your favorite charity. It could be to start a fund or expand a business. It's not a loan. There's no repayment. Who do you know that needs money like that? Simple, isn't it? Then they'll respond. And when they respond, great. Well, let me tell me about your project. Talk to the people. Ask them what it is that they're trying to accomplish. How much do they need? And ask them even, have you ever tried to raise funds before? If yes, then describe, they'll describe what they've done. From there, you tell them, hey, I'm working with some people who are experienced at helping people like you get funding. I can put you on the phone with them to answer some of the questions. However, before we do that, there are a couple of short videos for you to watch that will give you a clear understanding of how all this works. I'll email you the link, and this way you'll have some of the right questions to ask them. That's it. I'll be notified when you're registered to watch them. How soon can you watch the videos? That's simple. That's what we do. That's what we do. Here is our marketing system. You can visit 123getleads.com. And literally there are leads that turn into donations. This is our marketing funnel. It's only $15 your first month, and then $6 per month thereafter. And what it includes video marketing, follow-up system, a squeeze page, everything, email broadcasting, everything you need to be able to manage and develop your WeShare activity. Everything that you need is right here inside of that funnel. And truly the fortune is in the follow-up. So following up in a timely fashion is key. Ask some questions like, what do they like best? Do a 3-way call to introduce them to an experienced team leader. Enroll them and get them underway. Get them the tools that they need. And ladies and gentlemen, get them to webinars like this. We have them on Sundays and Tuesdays. The fortune is truly in the follow-up. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you got 90 days to change your life. Can you do it? I believe you can. All you need is 2 to get 2. I believe you can. If you're in the chat room and you believe you can do this, not that you believe you're going to do it, I am going to do it. Just say, make that confession to the world, to yourself, that I am going to accomplish this. But this means you can't sit around waiting to learn everything. Humanly impossible. There's still stuff I'm learning every day about our company and our campaign. But I know enough to have success. And that's what we're going to make sure you have as well to get it done. I see the I-cans rolling in. So you want to know how to fail? Getting distracted. Doing it your own way. And doing nothing. So we don't want to see you fail. We want to see you succeed. Here's the challenge. Real simple. 50K in 90 days. I believe you can do it. There are no guarantees in life. But if you follow our system, you will have success. I guarantee you that. The hardest thing about getting to the top of the ladder is getting through the crowd of friends and relatives at the bottom who keep telling you it can't be done. This is your time. This is your season. This is your hour. There's nothing like this in the community. There's nothing like we share in the marketplace that can help you change your life. It can be done. If you believe it can be done, just type that one more time in the chat bar. It can be done. I want to encourage you tonight, my friend. Get back to the person that invited you here. Get back to the project manager that invited you to become a part of this system. Get back to the project manager that's going to help you and support you and help you go to the next level. Get back to that project manager and let them know, hey, I'm ready, I'm interested, I'm available, I'm open. Get back to them tonight. They're waiting for you to help you get started, to help you get enrolled. So let's build this community. Now, on tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, we have a team call every morning. Can someone put the team call information in the chat bar for me? We have a team call, and the team call is just great information, motivation, things to help us stay on track. And that's what it's designed to do, to help you get going, get motivated, get training, get support, new tools and new systems that we bring to the marketplace. Oh yeah, I believe it can be done as well. It can be done. So get back to the person that invited you tonight. Let them know you're ready to get going. Before we close out tonight, are there any questions? Are there any questions on anything that we've covered here tonight? Any questions? Any questions? Okay, here we are right here. Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? Please feel free to ask your questions in the chat bar. And again, get back to the person that invited you tonight. All right, I don't see any questions. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for sharing this, few moments with us tonight. I trust that you received the information that you needed to help you make a great decision to become a part of our intentional community. We are funds are rolling in, and we are excited about it. So again, thank you so much. The morning call number is in the chat area. Feel free to join us tomorrow morning. Take care, take charge, God bless, and we will chat with each and every one of you very soon. Again, get back to that person that invited you tonight so that they can help you and support you and help you get underway. Take care, take charge. Bye for now. Make it a great evening, everyone. Good night.